Are India and China really ready to be friends again? It's a question that's been on the minds of millions, not just in Asia, but around the world. For decades, the relationship between these two Asian giants has been a roller coaster, marked by moments of hope, but also by deep mistrust and even open conflict. Now, with the world watching, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Xi Jinping have come together for a meeting that could reshape the future of Asia, and perhaps even the global order itself. This meeting could change the game for Asia, and maybe the whole world. The stakes are incredibly high. India and China together represent more than a third of humanity, and their cooperation, or conflict, has ripple effects that reach far beyond their borders. As the world faces new challenges from economic uncertainty to shifting alliances, the decisions made in this room could set the tone for years to come. After years of tension, remember those border clashes in 2020? Modi made his first trip to China in 7 years for the SCO summit in Tianjin. The images of soldiers facing off in the Himalayas are still fresh in many minds. The Galwan Valley incident in particular marked a low point, with casualties on both sides and a chilling of diplomatic ties. For months, both countries ramped up their military presence along the border, and the world held its breath, wondering if things would spiral out of control. He sat down with Xi Jinping, and their message was clear. It's time to move past old rivalries and work together. The symbolism of this meeting cannot be overstated. Two of the world's most powerful leaders, representing nations with a long and complicated history, are signaling a willingness to turn the page. The body language was positive, the smiles genuine, or at least as genuine as high-stakes diplomacy allows. For the first time in years, there's a sense that dialogue, not confrontation, might be the way forward. President Xi spoke about the need for a new chapter in India-China relations. He referenced ancient ties, shared cultural heritage, and the potential for both countries to lead Asia into a new era of prosperity. Xi even said, the dragon and the elephant should dance together, not fight. This metaphor, which he's used before, takes on new meaning in the current context. It's a call for partnership, not rivalry. A vision of two great civilizations working side by side rather than at odds. Modi agreed, talking up mutual respect and the promise of peace along the border, which finally seems to be calming down. He emphasized the importance of dialogue, trust, and a shared commitment to development. For India, the border issue has always been a sensitive topic, but Modi's tone was conciliatory. He spoke about the need to focus on what unites the two countries, rather than what divides them. The message was clear. The time for confrontation is over, the time for cooperation has arrived. But it's not just about borders. The relationship between India and China is multidimensional, touching on everything from trade and technology to climate change and regional security. Both countries are emerging as major players on the world stage, and their ability to work together, or not, will shape the future of Asia in profound ways. With the US slapping new tariffs on India, both leaders are looking for more independence from the West. The global landscape is shifting, with old alliances being tested and new partnerships emerging. For India and China, this is an opportunity to assert their own interests and reduce their reliance on Western economies. Trade between the two countries has always been significant, but now, there's a renewed push to deepen economic ties and explore new areas of cooperation. Both nations are also eyeing collaboration in technology and innovation. India's booming tech sector and China's manufacturing prowess could create a powerful synergy. Joint ventures, research partnerships, and cross-border investments are all on the table. There's talk of setting up new innovation hubs, where Indian and Chinese entrepreneurs can work side by side, sharing ideas and building the next generation of global tech giants. China just lifted trade restrictions, direct flights are back, and even pilgrimages have resumed. These are more than just symbolic gestures, they're concrete steps toward rebuilding trust and normalizing relations. For ordinary people, this means new opportunities for travel, business, and cultural exchange. Families separated by the pandemic and political tensions are finally able to reconnect. Pilgrims can once again visit sacred sites, and students can pursue their studies across borders. The people-to-people connection is a crucial part of this new chapter. Thousands of Indian students study in China, and Chinese tourists are once again exploring India's rich heritage. Cultural festivals, art exhibitions, and academic exchanges are helping to break down stereotypes and foster mutual understanding. These grassroots connections may prove to be the strongest foundation for lasting peace. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. Sure, there are still big challenges, like trade deficits, mega dams, and old grudges. The trade imbalance remains a sore point for India, with Chinese goods flooding Indian markets. There are also concerns about water security, as China continues to build massive dams on rivers that flow into India. And then there's the weight of history, decades of mistrust, unresolved border disputes, and competing visions for Asia's future. Security analysts warn that while the current mood is optimistic, both countries will need to make real, tangible progress on the ground. Confidence-building measures, regular military dialogues, and transparent communication channels are essential to prevent misunderstandings and accidental escalations. The world has seen how quickly things can deteriorate, and neither side wants a repeat of past crises. But for 2.8 billion people, this is a big step forward. The potential benefits are enormous. Economic growth, regional stability, and a stronger voice for Asia on the world stage. Ordinary citizens in both countries are watching closely, hoping that this new spirit of cooperation will translate into real improvements in their daily lives. For many, the prospect of peace and prosperity is more than just a diplomatic slogan. It's a dream worth fighting for. The world is changing fast, and India and China have a unique opportunity to shape that change together. If they can overcome their differences and find common ground, they could set an example for other nations facing similar challenges. The road ahead won't be easy, but the first steps have been taken. On the global stage, both countries are already making their presence felt. Whether it's at the United Nations, the G20, or regional forums like the SCO, India and China are increasingly speaking with their own voices. Their cooperation, or lack thereof, will influence everything from climate policy to global trade rules. The world is watching, and the pressure is on. The younger generation in both countries is especially invested in this new era. With access to information and global networks, Indian and Chinese youth are more connected than ever before. They're demanding change, pushing for progress, and refusing to be held back by the conflicts of the past. Their energy and optimism could be the driving force behind a lasting peace. Could this be the start of a new era for India and China? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the world is watching, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more stories from Asia's political front lines.